Elon Musk is among the most vocal proponents of sending humans off-planet to preserve the future of the human species. He has long harboured dreams of colonising Mars, complete with a set deadline and plan of action. So, when it comes to technological advancement, Elon Musk is always asked about almost everything, and the billionaire responds to most of those questions on Twitter. But the tech billionaire has one special thing that he is absolutely certain about, and that is that there will be a population collapse on Earth. And what is the reason behind his thinking here? What will cause this circumstance? Well, for quite a time now, he has been warning the world about regulating AI development. Let's delve deeper into the situation. Until now, Elon Musk has been dreaming about the colonization of space, making humans an interplanetary species, but now, he doesn't dream about moon colonization anymore. Instead, he thinks it is what we need, seeing the situation of the world currently. A tweet by the tech billionaire about how Mars has a great need for people has created a stir on the internet. It all started when a fan page of Elon Musk's named Tesla Owners of the East Bay brought up the topic of population collapse that Earth could face owing to declining birth rates. Population collapse could be us, but we appreciate that you, good sir, are still making tangible efforts to stave it off, they tweeted, tagging Elon Musk. As it turned out, Musk replied to the post asserting that population collapse was a much bigger problem than people realize, and it was only for Earth. As far as the Red Planet is concerned, it needs more and more human habitation with its zero population. I'm trying to set a good example. Population collapse is a much bigger problem than people realize, and that's just for Earth. Mars has a great need for people, seeing as the population is currently zero. Humans are the custodians of other life on Earth. Let us bring life to Mars, Elon tweeted. Musk, who is known for keeping Twitter on its toes, has always made headlines for his bold and controversial opinions. In May, the billionaire said dinosaurs would still be around if they had spaceships during the asteroid strike. While this may sound facetious, Musk's real goals aren't too far from the suggestion, put it in a spaceship. Well, Elon has quite a good argument in his bag. In his tweet. In one of his tweets, he shared an article from the Wall Street Journal that proves some of his arguments. According to its findings, America's weak population growth, already held back by a decade-long fertility slump, is dropping closer to zero because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In half of all states last year, more people died than were born, up from 5 states in 2019. Early estimates show the total US population grew 0.35% for the year ending the 1st of July 2020, the slowest ever documented, and growth is expected to remain near flat this year. Some demographers cite an outside chance the population could shrink for the first time on record. Population growth is an important influence on the size of the labour market and a country's fiscal and economic strength. In addition to this, a report published in The Lancet in 2020 suggested the threat of population collapse is quite real and must not be dismissed. In the report, the University of Washington's Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation stated the worldwide fertility rate would see a serious decline between 2050 and 2100. All civilizations go through an arc where they build, they grow up in technological complexity, but then they don't keep going up. They, over time, decline and then they fall. This has obviously happened if you're a student of history with many civilizations in the past, Elon said. And he's not wrong there also. The signals the Earth is showing right now is causing scientists to believe we are heading towards a mass extinction. Well, the birth situation is among some of the actual reasons for that proposed extinction, but Musk thinks that there is a great possibility that the AI would also be posing a huge threat. In fact, he even went as far as claiming that artificial intelligence is our biggest existential threat. I think we should be very careful about artificial intelligence. If I had to guess at what our biggest existential threat is, it's probably that. So we need to be very careful, said Musk. I'm increasingly inclined to think that there should be some regulatory oversight, maybe at the national and international level, just to make sure we don't do something very foolish. He even popped up on this topic in a meeting with the US governors, where he asked for some cautionary regulations that need to be implemented in the case of the development of artificial intelligence. He was clearly not thrilled to make that argument, calling regulation generally not fun and irksome, but he said that in the case of AI, the risks are too high to allow AI to develop unfettered. Artificial intelligence could spur the creation of a robot dictator that could rule mankind forever, the billionaire Elon Musk says in a new documentary. If one company or small group of people manages to develop godlike superintelligence, they could take over the world, Musk said in the film. He He continued, "At least when there's an evil dictator, that human is going to die. But for an AI, there will be no death. It would live forever. And then you would have an immortal dictator from which we could never escape." He's basically saying governments or other entities could create a dangerous AI that could outlive human leaders and never be destroyed. And that one way to avoid this is to democratize AI. Elon is not anti-AI, however. His electric car firm Tesla is aiming to use machine learning to power autonomous cars. And he co-founded AI firm OpenAI in 2016, which he's not a part of currently. But he described his investments in AI research as keeping an eye on what's going on, rather than a viable return on capital. With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. In all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, it's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Doesn't work out, said Musk. There have been movies about this, like Terminator, Musk continued. There's some scary outcomes, and we should try to make sure the outcomes are good, not bad. So, how can this grave situation be solved? Of course, the man who is on a great mission of taking humans to other planets, his first and foremost plan would be to leave the Earth as soon as possible. In the 49 years since the last Apollo moon landing, humans have not set foot in another world or even gone past low Earth orbit. Musk wants to change this within the next 10 years by putting boots on Mars to establish a new cornerstone of humanity on our nearest planetary neighbour. The Moon and Mars are the two most obvious frontiers for crewed exploration. Venus and Mercury are simply too inhospitable to even consider, and the next planets beyond Mars are the gas giants Jupiter and Saturn, although perhaps their moons could one day be explored. According to Elon, he's not being driven by a simple desire to explore, but rather he claims to be doing it all in the name of human survival. Musk also spoke about how getting to Mars with singular missions was cool, but that colonization of Mars will be crucial to changing the future of humanity. What matters is being able to establish a self-sustaining civilization on Mars. And I don't see anything being done but SpaceX. I don't see anyone else even trying, said Musk. Elon has mentioned his plans of taking humans to Mars for a while, and he finally has a timeline for it. 5.5 years, he mentioned in February. While that's not a hard deadline, Musk listed a number of caveats. There's a raft of technological advances that must be made in the intervening years. The important thing is that we establish Mars as a self-sustaining civilization, he said. Musk has also been at the receiving end of criticism for his send it to space approach. A billboard near the SpaceX headquarters may be proof that not everyone seems to agree with Musk's interplanetary plans, and would rather focus on saving the Earth. A Los Angeles creative agency, Activista, placed a billboard outside SpaceX's California headquarters which reads, "Mars sucks." The billboard was placed right outside SpaceX's campus ahead of Earth Day 2021 and expresses disappointment over Musk's focus on Mars rather than on restoring Earth. What actually is in Earth's future, and will Elon be able to save it from the supposed to coming population collapse? He might be. We just have to keep an eye on him. So that's all, folks. Be sure to like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you in another video. Ta-ra!